What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and I'm joined by a very, very special guest. I'm really happy to have him on, and he's made a name for himself very recently on Twitter in the Scream community. Again, I'm really, really happy to have him. I'm going to be plugging his Twitter in the description in a pinned comment. If you guys want to follow him, he's Tristan. You guys may know him at Brittany Vinyl. So we're going to talk about how he got started, and we want to talk a little bit about the cast as well. So Tristan, thank you for joining me on this video.
Oh my God, thank you so much. It's an honor. Honestly, I'm so nervous right now, but I think I can get through this.
Yeah, you're gonna do great. And I love the "it's an honor" line. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but I appreciate it. All right, so let's hand it over to you. I mean, like I said, you guys can follow him on Twitter. I know Twitter's quite a place in the Scream community and just in the community in general, any community. But I think Tristan again does a really, really good job over there. So you can follow him in the description. But Tristan, tell us a little bit, about how you got into it, and specifically maybe to even get them to follow you. Now, what's kind of your plans right now? What are you doing on Twitter?
I started Twitter as a Britney fan, so I kind of knew how updates worked. In the fan communities, like updates, rumors, gossip regarding like Britney. And I've always loved Scream, so I was always tweeting about Scream no matter what. But for Scream 5, that is when I really got into it, really got into the rumors and the gossip. And I don't know, it kind of just happened naturally, to be honest. I just continued to tweet about Scream. And for 6, going into 6, I knew I wanted to update people and keep it compact, keep it accessible and easy for people to find, and surround myself with Scream fans. That's what I wanted to do ultimately.
Yeah, and like I said to you, even when we weren't recording, I mean the way you do it, and it's a way. It's not necessarily new. I mean what you're doing is new. It's up to date in terms of the set photos and stuff. But the idea of just kind of keeping it, like you said, compact, where you can just click. They're really nice, kind of graphics. They're threads, right? A lot of nice threads. I mean, there's something to be said of how important it is to just quickly look and say, hey, what's going on in the Scream world right now? Look at your Twitter and you see all that stuff. So I really think it's something that that we kind of need. And we've had several people kind of come out over the years, Scream obsessed, right? Kind of being the pioneer of that genre. And do it. So to have you as part of it, and you're exploding. I mean, you really, really are. You're doing a great job, and you've gained quite a few followers over the last little while. And you're just going up and up, and you'll be very big. You already passed me, and you'll be even bigger by the time we get to Scream 6. So what? Well, let me ask you, what are your plans? So I guess right now, again, set photos. We're going to talk about a little thing you put together in terms of linking who we just got as the cast with the potential, right? The kind of the bios of these characters. So what's your plan over the next, what is it, like 10, 11 months?
I don't think I really do have a plan, to be honest. Like I'm like waking up, I'm taking it day by day, and I'm just, I'm waiting for news. I'm waiting. It's really hard to explain because like I understand the question, but truthfully, I wake up and it's just what I love to do. Like it's just it's not stressful for me.
That's good. That's probably the best way to do it, if we're being honest, just kind of taking a day. I do that too with videos. I pre-plan some videos, but I don't know what video I'm going to make in a month from now, right? Like I do take a substantial amount of stuff day by day. All right, so let's talk about these images that you put out. So and you were kind of the one to break these rumored characters. I know I made a video talking about like the Claire and all those different people's names. So I know, and I mentioned you in that video, Derek and all that. So now we have 4 new people. Now I don't know, I'm not a big movie person in the first place. I don't know who these people are, or really I don't think I've seen any, maybe one in something, but you had kind of, you're assuming, you're linking them to who you think they could potentially play. So what do you think, just generally, what do you think about these 4 newcomers, and what do you think about this kind of link to their, who you think they could be in the movie?
I think I'm most certain with the two boys, definitely, because as you know, I don't know if I could say this or not, but an audition tape, a Scream 6 audition tape leaked, and that came from our group chat. I forget who it was. Someone found the Vimeo link because I guess that's where they upload audition tapes. And so we all kind of broke it down. Like that's the behind the scenes of my Twitter account is probably my group chat. It's capped at 50 people right now. We're all Scream fans. We're all friends. We all get along. And we just share all the news with each other first, and then I guess I guess I'm the one that takes it upon myself to post it. And so anyways, I'm getting off track. Um the audition tape, we all broke it down, and it was essentially this Derek character, and he was talking to a girl named Carla, and I think we all agreed that Carla is a code name for Sam, or it could be a code name for Kirby, because Carla Kirby, uh, the the beginning of the first letter of their name, because during Scream 5 we had character descriptions leaked, and their names were like Sarah, Teresa, Annie, and then that eventually evolved into Sam, Tara, and Amber. So I think they're taking the. I think they might be doing that again with the first letter of their name. So I think Derek could maybe be Dylan, but or if Carlo truly is Sam, then I think maybe they have just a random name altogether. But yeah, that's what I think about Derek. I
Yeah.
think Derek will be played by Josh, the older guy, because he's more in that age range of Sam and Kirby.
Yeah, he seems the easiest to place, and
Yeah,
and I agree with what you're saying too. With I originally kind of thought the link of Carla could be Sam, and then when you brought up Kirby, I'm like, shoot. But it's odd, and I've always said this, and it's not anything against either of the two. Like Melissa Barrera and Hayden Panettiere, they're 1 year apart. Hayden's only 1 year older. Sam's supposed to be playing a character much younger, right, than she actually. And you get that. You get that in movies. That happens all the time,
wait,
right? Like Mindy and Chad.
wait.
Yeah,
Melissa and Hayden are 1 year apart.
yeah. Melissa is gonna be 32 in July, and Hayden's gonna be 30,
Wow,
and Hayden's gonna be 33 in August. So they're actually
wow, I had no
they're 11
idea.
months apart, but they're supposed to be playing what characters that are probably 7, 8 years up. You know what I mean? So that's
Hmm.
so now that you bring that up, and he's what, like 36 the actor for the older guy, so he could be more linked with Kirby because Kirby's supposed to be the the elder, you know what I mean, of the group.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's actually a really good point. And then so you link the rest too. Again, like you said, I mean the boys seem pretty easy to do because you got like an Eric 19 and the link to this Jack Champion, right? And he's
Yeah.
17 in real life, so I mean that age is rather close. That makes a lot of sense. And I agree with you because I was reading through your the thread. The two girls, like I think I agree in the order you put them, right? With Liana being Alicia, and Devin, is that how you say her name? Being Claire. But I do agree
Yeah.
with your thought of like they could be swapped. Like if they wanted to swap them or if they are swapped, that also makes sense.
So here's the thing that since the audition tape did come out and revealed Derek, that's the only true character description that we truly have because we know that comes from the rough draft script that comes from an audition, and then the other character descriptions, this is all alleged. Like someone could have easily took Derek, for instance, and made a description out of his audition tape, and then added Eric, Alicia, and Claire. But since since we have these new four actors and actresses that uh, could literally fit the four leaked descriptions, it's kind of fishy. Like it's kind of sus. Like could these descriptions be real?
And like why not? And again, and this is the thing you and I think make pretty apparent. Like it's discussion. If it's wrong, it's
Yeah.
wrong. If it doesn't turn out to be true, but like you said, I mean, they do factually match. Now, again, with the girls,
Yeah.
maybe you could swap them, whatever. But I mean, both of them could fit the age range, whatever what they're supposed to be. Like it just makes sense. Now, let me ask you this, because this is something I think people were discussing maybe before the cast came out. Do you think this is an odd one? Do you think this group of four? Do you think they're basically just kind of like fodder to be killed? Like they're just their names to be murdered by Ghostface? Or do you think maybe some of them can kind of rise to like really important? Because I could see honestly. Well, lead care. I mean, they all say lead, but like you said, I mean, lead doesn't have. Somebody could have just made that up. Somebody like a
Yeah.
Jack Champion to me kind of stands out as somebody who could easily be murdered. I don't know why, and even one of the girls I think could be like a kill within the first 30 minutes, and no one would really bat an eye. So what do you think? Do you think these are people that are just going to be eliminated immediately, or do you think some like maybe Derek would last a little bit longer?
Well, since this is a sequel to like the requel, I I think they're gonna. I think I'm comparing it a lot to Scream 2. Scream 2 had like a big new cast, and they had kills in between. They had Joshua Jackson in a classroom with a few lines. So with the lead character situation, I think that they're categorized as lead character because maybe they have substantial speaking roles, and they're important to the story. And then we're gonna get some other cast members, such as like the Joshua Jackson, maybe like the sorority girls kind of thing.
Well, my
Or
only
that.
my only issue, right? And I'm not disagreeing. My
Yeah.
only issue is we already have, you could argue, six main characters in the six that are the four core younger,
Hmm.
group, and then you have Kirby and Gale. So if you already have
Yeah.
six leads, and then if all of these are truly, like you said, speaking role, I think makes sense. But you could have a big speaking role and like, have a monologue and die like 2 minutes later. So you could technically have it both ways. But you already have six to add on four. Now you have 10 main characters. Now what? Scream 5. Because I did a video breaking this down because I thought it was interesting. 5 had what? 13 characters in all. That's if you include Judy. That's if you include Vince. It had 13 characters. In terms of like, you could label them as names, like the cop, the Asian cop or whatever. Like I don't count him, but so you have 13 characters. You already have 10. No, actually no, because you have what's his? I always forget his name. Dermot or whatever the cop that we think, right?
Dermot.
Yeah.
I
So now you have 11. You already have two less than what you had in 5. And 5, I will very easily argue, was overcrowded. Way over, because Chad wasn't in the movie. Mindy was good, but
Mhm.
she had like 3 main parts. Liv, I loved Liv actually. She was not in the movie. Vince was in it for 10 seconds, right? So yeah, and I'm not bashing a movie that's not made yet, but we're already at 11. We had 13, and I think a huge problem with 5 was overcrowding, where you couldn't let Sam stand out. Tara stole it. You couldn't have Sam stand out. Chad didn't stand out to me at all because he didn't have a chance. Not that he's a bad guy. He just didn't have a chance. So that was me kind of going on a rant. But what do you, maybe with that being said, what do you think about like the numbers game of so many people?
Honestly, I agree with you. I think that you know, there's people that I'm talking to, and they're like, "I hope we get more cast," and I'm just like, "What? We already have, like you said, so we already have a pretty big cast. If we were to get more cast members, it'd probably just be for like an opening, or it'd probably be for like a background character. But answering your question before, I didn't get to answer the question before. Sorry. I definitely think that these are all going to be killed, but everyone is getting suspicious over this Josh guy because apparently he played this a psychotic character before.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. And you know what? And that's the thing, man. They're not people that point that out. They're not wrong because Amber didn't she just repeat? Mickey Madsen didn't she just repeat Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right? To spoil
Yeah,
that.
that was
You know what I mean?
crazy.
So there can be something to be said with people that have played certain roles like this before, and maybe they're repeating. But I agree with you in that sense. I think all four probably the cop maybe too. I think all four are probably gonna die. It's just, yeah, and I didn't really think about it until you and I started talking. It's like I have nothing against any of these people being cast, but you look at it, and it's like, all right, we're at 11, so like, is Kirby gonna be in it for 5 minutes? Is Sam gonna have room? Because Sam, really, in my opinion, I've always held this. She was a solid character. To me, she wasn't amazing. I think Tara was the better say final girl. But Sam has something, and I think you can do something with her in future movies. But you need to give her the chance. If you have 15 other characters besides her, she may not. She may not have time to lead. No, I'm not saying I need 4 people. Like the movie's gonna have 4 people max, but I mean, I really think 9, 8, 9. I think I counted like the people that actually had major parts in 2. I don't remember the number, man. Maybe it was 9 to 11. I really think like 9, 10 is probably a sweet spot because once you get 12, 13, 14, I think it becomes, and like you said, yeah, now if we get more, which I think we will. I don't think this is it. I think we'll get at least 1 or 2 more names that Deadline, it'll be a thing on Deadline. Who are they? Are they? Is it Sydney Sweeney? And then, okay, well, she's probably immediately then opening kill or something. Like you have to then kind of label these people because there's almost too many of them.
That's the thing too. This like usually with a Scream movie, it's like they kind of made that their brand. The Weinsteins back in the day, like they said, oh, we need to get this big name. Oh, we need to get Sarah Michelle Gellar. Oh, we need to get her in this movie. And so that when the Scream, like the casting of like of the Scream movie is iconic in itself. Like that's what we look forward to. But for this movie specifically, I noticed that I honestly truly did not care who was going to be casted because all I wanted was to know more of Sam. I wanted to know more of Tara. I wanted to know more of Mindy and Chad. And that's like genuine. Like I really did want to know more about them because I felt like I didn't really get to know them that well in Scream 5.
No, I am 1,000. That is perfectly, and that and again, that's not an issue or a complaint against the people that are cast, and I think actually it speaks to both strengths and weaknesses of radio silence, right? Where they have created characters that are good enough, some better than others, where we want. Like we're giving him a chance. Really, that's what it is. And that's how I've always kind of looked at it. 6 is the most important movie of this trilogy because 6 justifies 5, right? If 6 is mediocre and 5, some people love 5, some people didn't. Really, 5 was a mixed movie. Just factually, not everybody loved it. If 6 is also not all that amazing, it puts a lot of spotlight on. Okay, did we need to do this? Did these movies need to happen? So there's a lot riding, on a 6. But and again, to what you said, like Tara is to me, she's a phenomenal character. Jenna Ortega did awesome. I want her, put her in 40, 45 minutes. Now, and the sad thing is I don't think she will be. I don't think she'll be in 40, 45 minutes. Like Sydney was in 1. I think she was in like 37 or 40 minutes. Give me that much of Tara. Now, I don't think that'll happen, but that's what I want. Sam, same thing. I don't know if I'll actually like it. Depends on, her acting and the writing that they give her character. Maybe I'll not like Sam if you give me her, if you give me that much of her. But also, I kind of want to see. I kind of want to see what you can do, right? And Mindy and Chad, same thing. Like Chad, I don't care. And again, it's nothing against Mason Gooding. I don't care about Chad at all. You could kill Chad immediately in 6, and it wouldn't impact me. And that's an issue because I think you need to, when you kill Randy, that's something where it's like, oh my God, that's a big deal. Killing Chad right now. Now, if you evolve his character in 6 and you kill him at the end, then maybe, then I'll feel something. But by having so many characters, again, like is Kirby in it for 5 minutes? Because like you have to flesh out these other, and by the way, we're supposed to like these other characters. We're supposed to now learn who they are and all that. And if we don't, maybe that's okay. Like Cece, there's something special about what Sarah did with that, and she was a great character in her limited role. It was a great chase sequence. Yeah. But a lot of characters say in like 3 or even 4, a lot of characters that just don't get fleshed out. When they get killed, it's just to kill them, and that's okay to some.
Exactly.
I don't care. Personally, I don't like that. I know some people will be like, well, it's just a kill and that's fine. I mean, yes, there is a sense you go to a Scream movie for that, but I want to
Yeah.
learn about these characters. So I get the other side for sure. These characters could literally be fodder. They could die in the first 5 minutes. But I mean, like I want to kind of learn about them. And I think when you have so many, you limit how much you can care about them.
Exactly. And this reminds me of something that I tweeted. This is why I think that Chad will not die in Scream 6. I feel like because he was like kind of underdeveloped in Scream 5, they're going to build on him and make us love him in Scream 6. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to kill Mindy. You know why? Because we love her. We already like we they want to give us emotion, and Scream 5 was so emotional with their deaths. You know, it really was, and I think that's what they're gonna do this time around. But like you said with Sarah Michelle Gellar, yes, it's annoying to see a new actor come in and then be just to be killed. But with Sarah Michelle Gellar, she's such an iconic actress. Like she was Buffy at the time, like she was a big name. So that's fun, you know, seeing an A-list die in a horror movie. So it really depends. You can't hire a upcoming actor or actress and then kill them in Scream 6 because we're just not gonna care.
That's the thing with and to be fair, and it's just my opinion, and I don't watch many things. I mean, I watch Better Call Saul. It's a great show, but I don't really watch too much. I don't know who any of these people are. So that I mean, so they aren't an A to me, and I think in general, who is gonna say any of these are A-list people? I don't think there's any. Same thing with like Sonia, who played Liv. Like she was great. She did a really awesome job, and they kept her around. But it's just she wasn't in the movie. They kept her character alive, I guess I should say, right? But at least that kind of worked because it's like you do feel something for her, even though I have no idea who this actress is. I can't put a face to, I can't say, I'll go to my favorite person I always go to, like Johnny Depp, right? So Johnny Depp's in something, you say, oh, that's Jack Sparrow. So when you kill him or when something happens, or you can just introduce him. And as soon as he steps on screen, I say, I know who that is. Because I've seen now. Show me who this character is, but I know who that is. I can't do that for any of these people, any of them, and so they're not gonna make. They're not Kristen Bell, right? Who's in 4, Lucy Hale in 4. Like they're not these people, and that's okay. Yeah. They don't have to be those people, right? But like you said, you have to treat them differently. You can't have them be in one scene, kill them, and expect it to. Unless they're like unless they really sell it, or unless the draw of that scene is like a chase scene. Like if the draw for this Claire character that we don't know, we don't really care. If the draw is the chase scene is what's important, like let's just show them a cool chase, that's fine. So it does, like you said, it does depend on who it is and what they do for them.
Oh my god, and adding on to that, like you said, Liv McKenzie, the actress who played her, she was like an unknown, I guess you could say. But what they did with her character and how they killed her during the reveal, like they totally like that's what we want from like an unknown.
Exactly. Yeah, it's something memorable, and to her credit, I thought she did a great job, like acting the entire time.
Totally.
She just wasn't in it, and I do wonder if she wasn't in it because they didn't trust her in the sense that you've never done any, which is a fair thing, right? We don't know how the audience is going to take to you. I mean, I could understand that, but I've always wondered. I've made kind of videos on every character, like one video on per character, and in that Liv video, that's what I talked about, right? It's like she was good, but did they trust her? Did they think it was going to work? And did they keep her limited on purpose for that reason? Now I could argue that for some of these these characters too, because again, they're not in too many. Like Derek, obviously maybe a little bit different, the character of Derek, but some of these other characters, I don't know how much you'd see of them. And again, you have to balance. You have to balance what we have with these new people with the old. And I like your train of thought. I like the idea of Mindy. Here's the thing, and let me ask you this. This is maybe where we will end this on. My gripe that I've been saying actually for years, and this is again not like it is an issue, but it's not like I despise the franchise or anything. One thing I don't like is that when characters die in these movies, there isn't any reaction, or there isn't enough reaction. Now, I've also said I get it because a movie moves very fast. You don't have like the TV show. I like, actually, controversially, I like the Scream TV show. Because in the Scream TV show, a character dies, and you have like an entire episode after where the characters are mourning and dealing with that character's death. Now, you can't literally do that in a movie. You don't have an extra hour. to see. So one issue I've always had is that when the movie characters die, like the biggest reactions we've ever gotten is Dewey's death, Sydney and Gail's reaction, which was good. I actually kind of would have liked more, but I'm happy with what we got. And then I would say
Mhm.
Sydney's reaction to Randy, which was emotional. I think Nev sold it, but I also really don't think it was enough at the time. So my question to you is, let's follow your train of thought because I do agree. I think the way to bolster Chad the most is killing Mindy. I fully believe that. That's more than any
Yeah.
character development, killing his sister. Here's the issue.
Yeah.
And here's my question to you. My opinion in 5 is that they really don't even care about each other all that much. That's the vibe. Like they didn't really show it enough in my mind that they actually even like each other. Yeah, like there was a slight concern when Chad was going outside and Mindy's like without a weapon or whatever and he grabs the statue, that whole thing. But really they didn't show too much love of these two. And also historically Scream has had a problem with characters mourning other people's deaths. So my question
Mhm.
to you is, if they kill Mindy, do you think they would do a good job of Chad's reaction? Also, do you think maybe they lean into Liv dying? Do you think maybe Chad has any feeling? Because that could help his character too. If he actually cared about Liv, maybe he is sad she died. But see, to me, the movies have never done that. So I don't. Besides Sydney's arc in 1 through 3 is this like psychological, like breaking down of her, her safety. Besides that, though, they don't do it for anything else. So what do you think about all that?
Wow. Okay. So in 5, I did feel like they didn't like really care about each other. Like the group of characters, like Sam and Tara just took off. They didn't care about who they left behind. Um, it was Mindy and Chad. Mindy kind of, was suspicious of Liv, so I think that's why she was so off with Chad. Um, but for Scream 6, I feel like that could be a way. Mindy's death could be a way into bringing Chad into the story. Like how Dewey kind of showed up in Scream 2. I feel like Chad isn't really in college. I feel like maybe they do kill Mindy. Wow, this is such a hard question.
It is, to me, it is an issue with the franchise. Because I want to say like, well, I'm not bashing it, and I'm not I'm not saying like this is a thing that makes the franchise suck or
It's
something.
making me like it's making me so nervous to talk about their deaths. Like, oh my god.
Because again, I've always kind of, and I love this look, and I think that should be made clear, I guess, for anybody at the 30-minute mark that doesn't know that Tristan and I love this franchise, right? We love the franchise, but I'm not afraid, to call out some of the stuff I think has been weak, and I do think, personally, reactions to character deaths has always been a weak point in the entire. I mean, Tatum literally isn't mentioned ever. You know what I mean? Like Sydney screaming at the garage door is not good enough, ever.
Mhm.
Okay, and they've never done any besides an Easter, having her name, the ashes or whatever, at Dewey's house. Like they never have done it. Now they have a chance with Dewey because you could show Gail go through. So, like Gail to me can't have a boyfriend. To me, like that, I think that's kind of weird. And again, that would show, okay, these characters really don't care about each other all that much. You know what I mean? It would just kind of send that vibe to me. So I'd like to
Mhm.
see Gail kind of not like depressed and like she's a loser character. Like don't make her Luke Skywalker in Episode 8 of Star Wars, where he's a loser, right? He hates everything. Don't make her that. But like I want to maybe see her a little depressed that she lost her best friend, right? Like show that. If
Mhm.
Mindy dies, that's Chad's sister. Let's see something.
Yeah.
The issue is they've never shown me they can do that. So I don't really have confidence right now. They can prove me wrong, but right now they've never done it.
I feel like I could agree to that, but then I think of, like usually these movies take place, all in the span of like a night, like a few hours. So I don't think they have enough, time to really what's that word? They don't have time. Yeah, they don't really have time to like digest or mourn. But I agree with you, like to the next movie, like going on to the next, like it's always like some kind of time jump. And you
And,
know, it took us like uh 1 through 5 for Dewey to recognize Tatum. And that was something that made us all happy.
And like I like that. I like that they finally did something with Tatum, but it's like,
Hmm.
man, this guy, he lost his sister, and you never like in two, you think when they're if they ever talk about one or any events of one, even when him and Randy are kind of going back and forth, like these are you're talking about people that killed your sister. Your sister died because of Billy, right? So like you're talking about Billy. Don't you think of your sister in that moment? So that like that's how I now I do because
Yeah.
I think the other side to that would be, well, it is a time jump, so they could deal with those issues in between the time jump that we just don't see. That's fine, but like we never see it. We never see. So like that's kind of it. Like can we see it once? Like that's kind of the issue to me. But it's again it's something I think about. It's not something I necessarily, I guess, think about in the moment. It's just something that's always kind of been a nitpicking, kind of thing that I think of afterwards. All right, so I think we'll end it there. Well, Tristan, thanks so much, man, for being here, for talking about your Twitter, and for having just a kind of off the. I mean, we didn't plan any of this, so all of his answers are on the spot, and I think he did an amazing job. So thank you again, buddy, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I was so nervous, but I'm glad we did this, and I'm glad I have a video on your channel. That is so cool.
Etched in history, man. All right. Well, again, thank you so much. And guys, make sure you follow him. I know Twitter is not the greatest place on earth, and even the Scream fandom on Twitter is not the greatest place on earth, but Tristan truly is a nice guy, and he means well. So make sure you guys are following at Brittany Vinyl is his at symbol. It'll be in the description if you guys just want to click it there. Go to his Twitter and follow him there. Again, thank you for being here, man, and thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all on the next video.